What's going on, everybody? This your man Sean Marcus, and welcome to Speak Up in the Mind of Men. How you doing tonight? All right, I'm waiting on my co-parts to come in with me, so bear with me. What's up, Al?
Yo, what's up? What's up,
What's
Sean?
going on, brother? How
Marcus,
you
Sean
doing?
Marcus.
You know what's up. You know what's up, my brother. We waiting on Triumph to come on in. I know he trying to kick it. There he is. What's up? Hold on, fellas.
What's up? How y'all doing?
There they go. What's up, brothers?
Much,
What's up?
man. How y'all doing, man?
Very
All right,
good.
what's up, Triumph?
I like that. How you
Hey,
doing, brother?
I am Father. Hey, I am Father. That's Al up there, y'all. He's the host of I Am Father. We got Triumph down here. He's SDO Fitness. He has his own company in St. Louis, Missouri. And we're gonna let each one of these guys talk about what they do. And first and foremost, guys, I'm very happy to have you guys here. I appreciate you guys taking the time to come out. I know the ladies have been asking me for a minute. You know, they've been tired of hearing my voice and my opinion, so they want to, see some other things happening. So we do appreciate that. The first question is, my question is for those who have been in a long-term marriage that ended painfully in divorce. If in a happy, healthy relationship now, how did they get to the point of trusting again and letting their guards completely down? All right. Now I'm going to say that one more time. All right, guys. It says, my question are for those who have been in a long-term marriage that ended painfully in divorce. If in a happy, healthy relationship now, how did they get to the point of trusting again and letting their guards completely down? The one thing you definitely have to do, and definitely you have to process your divorce, process it. You have to heal from it. You have to make sure that you're totally healed, because you don't want to take that baggage into someone else. Believe me, I understand that, and I know how that can go. So the thing is you want to be healed. Of course you can love again. And the one thing you do learn when you're doing that is that you're not going to get the same kind of person you had before, because you definitely don't want that. And it's going to seem like it's kind of simple to get back into, but you have to be careful. You just have to be careful, be patient. And yes, you can fall back in love and you can let your guard down, but always just be conscious and be prayed up on it, and make sure that you just take things slowly and in a process way. Al, T, any one of you guys got something on that?
You want to go first, Al?
Yeah, I go first. I was actually married for 15 years, and it's been just a little over 5 years right now that I've been divorced, and I definitely think it takes time. I know right after marriage, there was a lot of temptations to get into a relationship right after marriage. I mean, great women. It just wasn't time for me, because when you get married, I mean, the longer you're married, you become one with your spouse. And for me, I had to actually just rediscover myself. So that's why I didn't want to jump right into a marriage. I mean, right into a relationship. I mean, let alone marriage, right into a relationship. And because I didn't know what I didn't know. So it was more of a rediscovering phase for me to know exactly what I wanted. Not only that, but find out.
Sorry about that, guy. You all, I don't know what that is. Go ahead.
But find out what is it that I needed to learn through the 15-year marriage. So now I feel like I'm in a good place. I am beginning to entertain more than I have in the past, and I just hope some of these women that I passed by wasn't one because I just didn't feel like I was ready. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I feel like I definitely feel like I have to be comfortable. I have to be ready. And I don't know, that may be the Taurus in me, but
No, that's a good thing, man. You want to go into it safely and things like that. T, come on, brother, what you got? I know. Well, go ahead. What you got?
So for me, um, I was married for 6 years. Um, I don't think that it even is a well for me, from my perspective, I wouldn't even be looking to join another person in the first place right after a long term relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Specifically with the word trust. Um, for me, trust is something that's developed over time. It's not something that is just given. It's something that's earned. After you have been in a position where you've been in a marriage for a long term period, there's no way that you can really bounce back immediately from devoting yourself to someone like that. So in order for you to really trust another individual, you got to first trust yourself.
True.
And the thing is, coming out of a marriage, there's no way you come out of there with like if you put your all into it, there's no way you come out of that without some type of a little bit of insecurities, doubts about certain things, questioning how it happened, why it ended, all those kind of things. You have to address those things first and know yourself and trust yourself before you can trust another individual.
That's true.
You got to really address the issues that you had that you brought to the table, before you even thinking about, bringing another person on. Like you got to figure out what you did wrong, like
That's right.
where you could have been better.
That's right.
And do you trust yourself to not make those same mistakes if you were in that same situation? I think that it literally makes not the best situation for you to try to address another person coming out of that situation until you address yourself. I'm a firm believer about before you try to do anything to another person, you got to be able to do it for yourself.
That's right.
So
That's
if you can trust yourself in those same situations where you might have failed or had shortcomings, and you are comfortable with who you are as a person, and you've addressed the insecurities that was brought about by the other person and yourself, then at that point, you literally can actually enjoy who you are as a person. And meeting someone else will be something that is an add-on versus basically you trying to impress them or try to catch up or try to hide something that you didn't address.
That's true. And that's it. I mean, and a lot of it in a nutshell is just make sure we know who we are at that point. Um, be accountable for our actions, learn from the mistakes that we made, things like that. And I think that's one of the things with all relationships and all couples, whether it's men or female, you have to be accountable. And a lot of times, a lot of us can't be, and we need to be.
After meeting a woman, what category they're going to put her in? Either she can be friend or she wifey material or whatnot. Is that true?
I couldn't
Fellas,
hear her for real.
she said that is it true that men can tell from the beginning which category you're going to go in, wifey or whatever? Good question.
When you meet
Go ahead.
you meet a woman, can you when you meet a young lady, can you tell exactly what category she's going to be for you? A friend, is she wifey material, somebody you might want to pursue? So I've heard that this was true about men. So I want to hear from you guys.
Can y'all hear her good? Y'all okay?
Yeah. So if I understand it correctly, she's asking once you meet a woman, do you automatically determine what category that we put them in? Is that right? Well, I mean, my response to that is, I wouldn't take that negatively. And the reason I say that is because, God put people in your life for different reasons. So if you think in one way, and that person is in your life for another reason, then it's almost, pushing a round head and a square hole. You can't force it. You just have to, for one, remember what you've been praying, because those answers can come in a lot of different ways. And it may not always be for that type of relationship. So for me, I try not to dive into a relationship so quickly. And I mean, I've actually been tagged on not, giving a relationship so quickly. And that may be it, because, I'm approached, or I approach, or I'm around females, and you have to be mindful of why that person is in your life. It may not be a relationship, and it may not even be what she wants. It may not even be what you want, but you got to be open to know that. So I won't be so quick to dive into the relationship, because what happens is, it's you get caught up, and it take you 3 or 4 months to realize, that wasn't the reason she was in my life.
Right. All right. We got some questions coming out now. T, you want to say something on that, Try?
Yeah. For me to answer the question, it depends on the man. I believe that most men, that's true. Because the thing is, we're very simple. Like we're simple when it comes to putting things in a box. Like we're trying to get to a purpose immediately. Okay, with most situations, there's nothing wrong with that though. I mean, in most cases, a real man is just trying to not waste time. Okay, but within that, other people that are, I would say, don't mind, or have like a little bit more capacity for taking their time with the situation, right off back won't put you in a box. Like for instance, I personally don't put people in a box.
Okay.
I just don't. But the thing is, it's because I look at relationships a little bit different, I would say. But that's the thing. If the question specifically, do men do it? So the answer is literally like it depends on the man. But for me, no, I don't put you directly into a specific box right off back. I don't. I like to sit back and see where you put yourself based off of what you do.
Where she'll fit.
Your actions, the way that you talk, how you respond. I listen to what you're saying, and based off of that, you kind of put yourself in that situation. So, when it just depends on how the person is. That's me personally, and I think I only know like a few other guys that kind of moves like that too. So, but specifically, it's like if men do that, I would say 80% definitely. But for me, I just don't, just because I choose not to.
All right. So basically,
all right.
Go ahead, Wanda.
No, go ahead.
Now, what we're gonna do is, Wanda, go ahead and ask another question, because there was some. I'm trying to throw the questions on here. Hey guys, thank you, because you're commenting, and I can kind of throw them on the screen. And a lot of positive things. So that's great. Of course, we're not gonna be able to get to every call probably, but Wanda, go ahead and ask another question. Then we're gonna check the phone lines.
Okay. Do men like to be chased, or they prefer to be the chaser?
Okay. It always goes back to depends on the man. But I think that I mean, of course, men like to be flattered. I mean, men like to be chased, of course. I mean, you gotta imagine, since you've been 10 years old, you've been flirting with women. Not often do men get flirted with as much. Now we do, but not as much as women. A woman get approached every day at the grocery store, in line at the bank, anywhere she is, on Facebook, anywhere. But men don't always get approached like that. So do we like that? I do. Why not? Yeah, I like it. And the next guy.
I mean, both ways for me. I mean,
Mhm.
I will accept being chased. I like to be chased. I do, and I would chase. But when I find out that my chasing is in vain and she really is not interested, oh, I back off. I back off very quickly.
Right.
And yeah, it's both ways for me. That doesn't matter.
Okay.
So I would say, as far as like the question you're saying, if men again, so it's not a direct question for me. So I
Yeah.
would say to help out the situation with ladies, pay attention to if the man is himself is a chaser. If he is a chaser, he's not gonna want you to chase him. Okay, I think that a lot of women, they'll just kind of do whatever they want to do, but you gotta pay attention to the guy, how he moves. You can show interest without chasing. Okay, so
Mhm.
if the dude is a chaser, and you know what I'm saying, if you gotta kind of move differently, figure that out. If he likes, because it's not gonna be hard. Because if he's a chasing kind of guy, he might jump on you before you could even think twice, because that's how he is as a man. But if you kind of come off like you gonna chase him, that could turn him off. You know, so it depends on the man. Once again,
Mhm.
for me personally, I mean, I'm more of a flow kind of person. I'm not a chaser kind of guy. I'm just not that kind of. I'm not gonna do that. I ain't gonna lie. I'm more because I like to see how things flow. So I'm not a chasing kind of guy, but I'm not against a woman approaching me with interest. You know what I mean? So that's how I am. But as far as men is concerned, figure out if he's a chaser or if he lays back a little bit. Because if he lays back, then just show interest, and if he's feeling that, then go ahead and chase him. You know what I'm saying? Because if you want him, then go ahead and show him you want him. You know, but if he's not a chaser, I mean, if he is a chaser, he needs just show interest, but then play hard to get. There you go.
And
That's
if
all I
he
got to
is, and if he is, Triumph, that's true. If he is a chaser, and then it could be, you can take the masculinity away from the relationship. A woman coming that way can be masculine, and a lot of relationships now, the woman is more masculine than the man, but that's a different kind of subject. But the masculinity, some men like to chase. And let me not confuse the word with chase or approach, or however you want to do it. But some men like that. It might take the masculine. It might be a masculine way if a woman does that to some men, but not all. But that is something to think about. Now let me see. Wanda,
Well,
go ahead.
I just wanted to say this because I know it's so many single women out here, and a lot of times now women are being the aggressor now, and they can come hard. And I've heard some men say it kind of turns them off when a woman is too aggressive,
Well, yeah,
and when
yeah. Go
and
ahead.
too hard
I get
and too hard at chasing them. So that's why I just posed that question. What did you gentlemen think about that? So
very good.
thank you so much, gentlemen. Y'all have a beautiful night.
Thank you,
Same
Wanda.
to
We
you.
appreciate you calling.
All right, take care.
Now, as far as aggressive women, sometimes in this day and age, you got to come aggressive because it's not a whole lot of guys out there, it seems like. And
A woman can be aggressive. I have no a problem with her being aggressive, and these terms be thrown around a lot loosely. But aggression, chasing, , 1st to approach, however you want to define it.
mhm.
I have no problem with it. But it's really up to me to if I'm gonna receive it or not. So I mean, I let a woman be a woman, just like she should let a man be a man. There's different roles. So
That's true.
and I think I mean, as long as we're respecting each other, getting to know each other, because if she's aggressive and she's chasing, then that's part of who she is as a person. So you got to let her be her.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, a woman can be aggressive. I have no a problem with her being aggressive, and these terms be thrown around a lot loosely. But aggression, chasing, 1st to approach, however you want to define it.
Mhm.
you know, I have no problem with it. But you know, it's really up to me to if I'm gonna receive it or not. So I mean, I let a woman be a woman, just like she should let a man be a man. You know, there's different roles. So
That's true.
and I think is I mean, as long as we're respecting each other, getting to know each other, because if she's aggressive and she's chasing, then that's part of who she is as a person.
Mhm.
So you got to let her be her.
Right. All right. The phone line is open if somebody want to try to call through again. We had a few comments out here, so let's look at those. Maybe we can see a couple of things while we wait on this phone call. All right.
It's a nice platform here, Sean Marcus.
Hey, man, we're trying to get it together right now. Probably by next week, we'll have multiple phone lines, or next month, or whenever we do this. But I do appreciate you guys, man. And it's really just trying to get an understanding of each other. It's a different world we in, and we have to act accordingly.
Dating these days are a little different.
Well, it's no courting, you know, and I think women need to vet a little bit more in some situations. I think people need to vet. I also believe in friendship before everything goes too crazy, because I think with a friend, if you make friends with somebody, you care for them more. You don't walk out on them. You don't ghost them. Get to know each other. I think people are moving way into sex way too fast a lot of times. I ain't trying to hate on nobody, but our relationship situations in our community is not that good. And we need to just probably slow down and really find out what your alternative is, what the goal for each person is before you start getting into the bed. And we really just gotta just slow down. I think you need to know who you're dealing with.
Well, you got a lot of different platforms out there now that's really redefining dating, redefining relationships, redefining exactly what you just said. I mean, these platforms, Love is Blind, Love at First Sight. I mean, all of these women are watching. All these reality shows, women are watching. So they start to define themselves based on that. Well, it plays a role. You know, sometimes you have a strong woman and they're going to be who they are regardless, and it doesn't matter to them. But it does, the media does play a role into whether or not they're accepting that type of chivalry from a man, or, you know, the new definition of a man and things of that nature.
Marcus, you on the line? Who's calling?
This is Sherry Oliver. How are you doing, Sean?
Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Are you calling on Speak Up?
Yeah, I certainly am. I'm doing fabulous.
Oh, okay, great. I wanted to make sure you wasn't somebody, a bill collector, nothing like that. But come on. What's up, Sherry? How you doing?
Honey, I'm on vacation right now. I happen to be catching your podcast. I'm on vacation in Florida for a couple of weeks.
Oh, well, see you there. Now you lucky. But I tell you what, I'm flattered that you would call on vacation. And go ahead and tell us what's your question for tonight?
Well, I'll tell you, it's more so not a question, but input.
Okay.
Sean, I was married for 34 years because I got married when I was 18.
Okay.
I knew my husband for 60 days before I married him.
Okay, let's go.
We had a great life. He's a great man. And we had 3 daughters, and our last one was off to college. And we grew up together, but we grew apart in ways because we had circumstances that were different. We were self-employed. You know, I was a business owner. And so we just had different dynamics, because people are astounded when they hear me speak to my ex-husband on the phone. And they say to me, why are you not married to him still? It's not that our character changed. My address did. He's a great man. I would never demean my ex-husband.
And that was only after 60 days, and it lasted that long. That's really amazing.
60 days.
That's amazing.
60 days. And we got married. I met him on vacation. And it is amazing, because some people never have a marriage that lasts that long.
That's very true.
And they've been with someone for like 5 years.
That's right.
So I'm open to a relationship with someone. I'm not worried about a lengthy amount of time before, we say we're committed to each other
Mm-hmm.
and get married. If that's the case, if not, it's okay too. But people, I think that people tend to go into a phase of negativity and speaking badly about their ex and let that prevail. I would never do that. He's a great man. He's the father of my girls.
Mm.
And I would never demean him.
And that's the key. And it's good to see that, because a lot of marriages that are divorced are bitter, and it's a lot of problems.
No, we're good. Are you kidding me? No, we are true to who you really are, and your true character will come out, especially when you're in a divorce situation.
And that's it. And you have to be true to yourself. Yeah. I definitely agree with that. Sherry, thank you very much. And that's amazing. That's a great story. And I've never heard of something like that. Hey, you just gave love a big plus. Thank you so much, Sherry. All right. We'll take a few more calls if somebody want to call on through. Triumph, you were talking about your business, brother. Tell us about it.
So I started in 2016, and it's based off of just the same principles of, just regular fitness and wellness. But at the end of the day, I teach my clients to the point where they do not need another trainer or a gym within the first month of them getting their training. I take a lot of pride in teaching them how to take care of their bodies. And also putting them in positions where they know it enough to where if I die tomorrow, I know my clients can take care of themselves, and not just themselves, but they can teach their kids. So I'm very big on fitness, not just being solely about your physical body, but it has to translate in perspective of what a human is. And I guess a lot of people have their own definitions, but in mine, you're going to have a mind, body, and spirit. So in order for me to call you actually fit, you need to have awareness of every area of your being. And that's not to say that you're perfect in any area, but you strive to be better than yesterday in each area, and are aware of your balance as a person. And I just believe that it will always translate into your community as well. I'm very big on that as well. So we do outreach and things of that nature. We also do, the regular group training, personal training. I do virtual training. You name it, I do it all. I do retreats and things of that nature as well. So train companies and their employees and things of that nature. So I'm just very big on true fitness and what it's really supposed to be. And that translating into your life and making what the word growth should look like in its totality. So.
And that's the thing, and that's good. I wanted y'all to really meet Triumph, because he's truly dedicated to his trade over there, working out and making sure you understand the true meaning of fitness, So, hey, man, drop your address real quick, bro, if you want some people to come on by, call you.
My gym is actually a studio size gym, RSVP only. So you can give me a call at 314-591-3589 at any time if you want to book a consultation. But yeah, so it's RSVP only, but you can Google SDO Fitness and Wellness, and you can get all the information. It'll pop right up.
All right. 404-952-4612. You're on the line with Sean Marcus in the Mind of Men. We're talking tonight from ladies giving questions, important questions. We're trying to bring back respect in the neighborhood, respect and love and relationship. Got to start at the basics. So here we go. But Al, my main man after my own heart, he has his own pod, his own platform called I Am Father. Al, tell us about that, brother.
I'm sure you've heard people say that there's no blueprint to being a father, no manual on how to be a father. But what if I told you there was? And the way that we expose this blueprint and teach people on this blueprint is to interview fathers. The blueprint is through the fathers. Everybody's situation is different, but we interview fathers and we bring out the necessity to value your seed, because that's what make a father, their children, right? So we believe if you value your seed, then ultimately you would be a better father. So I do have a podcast. It's called I Am Father. On YouTube, put that in quotes and it'll come up. I Am Fatherhood on Instagram. And I Am Father on Facebook. But we interview fathers, and they testify, or we talk about fatherhood based on what they went through, on whether it's co-parenting, whether it's being a stepdad, whether it's been a type of father figure, being an uncle, dad, or what have you. We talk about your journey. You know, we put your journey on display, and nobody can talk to you about fatherhood, about your fatherhood journey better than you. So the hopes in that is the new fathers that's coming in, or the existing fathers, will be able to look into that journey and learn something. We understand that we overcome, by testimony. So that's their testimony. So we're not only, for the most part, we've been interviewing fathers and discussing fatherhood, but we have began to interview mothers. I Am Father from a mother's perspective. Mm-hmm. Because co-parenting is very important, not only from a mother's perspective, but from a seed's perspective. So we talk about fatherhood.
Yeah, that's key. What the child actually feels,
Yeah, because the child do feel,
That's right.
And a lot of times the child don't know why the father is not there or the mother is not there. But that's why co-parenting is so important. If you're not co-parenting, and then 9 times out of 10, I would say 9.9 times out of 10 is for selfish reasons. Mm-hmm. And if it's for selfish reasons, then you're not valuing your seed. You're not valuing that child, because the child then acts to come into this world and have absolutely nothing to do with you and the mom or you and the dad. So we talk about fatherhood. I am father.
Hey, bro, listen, we need to commend that. I mean, we are out there with great fathers out there. A lot of it don't get a lot of attention in that aspect. So I really appreciate what you do, brother. The question was, what's the first thing you notice about a woman?
Depends on how far she is away. Hey, look, if she's far away and I just see her crossing the street or what have you, what's the first thing you're gonna notice? That's a physical attraction. And I think in every relationship, you got a physical attraction and you have an emotional attraction. You also have a spiritual attraction. So it depends on how far she is away.
Hey, I think you hit it. And that's true. That's it. T, what you got? What's the first thing you notice about a woman?
It's definitely her body. I'm very into body. I like the body on a woman. So I'm just captivated by the art of how God made a woman. So that's the first thing that I noticed personally. But I mean, outside of that, if we want to go just a step further, how she carries herself. If she can back that up with, her intellect.
All right. Women proposing.
You want me to go?
Hey, jump in, bro. That's a whole lot of things behind that, bro.
Well, man, you want me to go first?
Al got to go in, and then T, you go.
All
right. Go ahead, Al.
That's kind of odd for me. You know what I mean? I've never been proposed to. I've never seen it. I've seen it on TV. Okay.
Right.
But it's kind of backwards for me. You know, it's not that the guy's the only one do the choosing, but and it's both ways. I mean, even after he proposed, she still have to say I do.
That's right.
But that'd be kind of odd for me. I don't. I would have to think about that one.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't. Go ahead, T. You being nice. T, what you got?
I think that's crazy. Personally, just to be honest. I know it's a new day and age where, that makes sense to some people. Like the term I keep hearing these days, like the alpha woman thing. I mean, each their own, I'm just not interested in it. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm not interested in an alpha woman.
Right.
I mean, I'm just not, because this is the thing. For me, it's the opposite of the definition of a woman. To be an alpha of a woman, how you submissive and alpha at the same time? Now this is the thing. I will add on to that. My perspective of women, I believe that women are literally been fashioned by God in a way that they are literally doper than men as far as thinking in every way. Like they can crush us, literally. Like we only got them physically, okay, as far as strength and things of that nature. But as far as like wisdom, I'm sorry, women got it. Now, but at the end of the day, when a woman chooses a man, I don't, even for these alpha women. Let me show my hand. The alpha women, if the right man, if they met the right man, I'm telling you, man, they're not gonna be alpha. They're gonna be submissive. Now, that does not change them from being amazing, strong, smart, intellectual, just powerful. That's not what that. Submissive does not mean that you're not any of those things. It just simply means that you know how to lead also by following.
Right. There you go. There we go. Let's say men of character approach women with respect. And that goes back to manners and things.
That's my perspective, though. It's a new age, man.
Look,
Hey,
that's the whole
each their own. You like the alpha thing? Go right ahead, man. It's just not for me.
And that's I agree. And that's the whole point of this, is so people can understand what people actually think and not be guessing. We're not guessing. These are three men's values and opinions, period. You can't beat
Yeah,
that.
I've never seen it, man. I mean, I really can't. I can't fathom that.
Let me say this, and I don't know. I don't get approached like that or proposed to by women or anything. But if a man wants, ladies, just real talk. If a man want to marry, he gonna ask you. If you ask to marry a man, it's almost embarrassing because, and I understand that it's difficult out here now, but if you ask to marry a man and he accepts it, that means he's a man that's a little different, and that you're a woman that's more of the masculine one in the relationship, to be honest. If a man accepts that, now if he loves you, of course, great, but don't flip and wear the pants too fast. Let a man be a man. And I think a lot of women need to do that sometimes, but I understand a lot of men are not manly.
Okay, I want to hear you gentlemen talk about accountability.
Really?
Okay, I want to hear about you men talk about accountability in relationship. Okay, because I'm a woman that I was married and I cheated on my ex-husband, and I can take accountability for my actions on what I did in that relationship. Can you gentlemen please talk about accountability and how that means to you gentlemen in relationships?
All right. Okay, I'll go with that. It's very important. Accountability. Let me just say this. When people make mistakes, whether it's a man or a woman, and we all do, If we don't have any accountability, then how can we ever get better and grow? We can never grow
Mhm.
without having any accountability. And that's the kind of thing that
Right.
where a marriage with no accountability, it's always going to falter. One person can be more in depth, the other won't be accountable for anything. And a lot of times it always seems like it's the man's fault. A lot of times it's not. It's both. We're trying to be married. You know what I mean? That we weren't born together, so nothing is promised. And you pray over, you go before God with it, but it takes constant work. You know what I mean? So accountability is very important. Just because without accountability, you can't grow when you have mistakes and things like that. You'll never find out the true reason why. I'm a why person, not just to do it, but why. But that's my point. Go ahead, Al. You go ahead and then T.
I think accountability is important. I mean, for me, I'm looking for that companion, you know, and you can't be a true companion if you're not accountable to each other, if you're not holding each other accountable. And you could be accountable in a lot of different ways, but I think accountability is definitely important into growing that relationship. You got to be open to accountability, though.
Go one step deeper with that part, Al.
Being open to accountability. Well, you got to be able to communicate. I think communication is very important in accountability, right? So if you're holding somebody accountable, you got to be able to communicate that accountability. You know, it can't be, you can't be defensive on accountability. So you can't be defensive on accountability, but you have to be open to accountability. Meaning you got to be able to communicate effectively. You know that person has your back, and that person means nothing but good and positive for you. So, and that's for me. That's part of that companionship, because that's what works for me. Companionship.
Sean Marcus in Mind of Men. Who's calling?
Sean, this is Sherry Oliver again.
Okay.
I just wanted to say I appreciate what he just said about communication
and
accountability. Here's the thing. If you are not held accountable, you're not being honest and transparent.
That's right.
And if you're not, that affects the relationship. You don't have a relationship. You're living a false life. So
that's true.
It's about being true to who you are and true to your mate.
All right. There we go. And that's a very true statement, Sherry. And I appreciate you giving us a call back on that. Hey, you busy? You out there on the beach? Throw some sand out here. What's up? All right, guys. We were talking about that courting thing, and then I'm gonna let you guys get ready to slide on out of here. But I know somebody was saying about courting. I know people miss courting and things like that. When people used to take a little bit more time, you used to go sit on the girl's porch at night. You know, you walked her a house. You took your time with them a little bit. Everybody still kicked it, but it was a little different.
I mean, how else you going to get to know a lady?
Are we getting to know ladies though? Are we really getting to know?
I am
really getting to know. I mean, it's
I can't talk for anybody else, but
right.
You know, I am. So you got to go out on dates, you know, and you have to do things. For me, you know, I really pay attention to the details. So when a woman don't think I'm listening, and the next day she may have something of a gift for me based on a conversation we had 2 weeks ago, and she didn't think I was listening to it, but I was getting to know her. So I'm always learning the woman that I'm trying to be in a relationship with, even friends. You know, I'm always listening to friends. So I think courting is important.
Yeah, that's the key. People want to be heard and listened to, and that's how they can tell if you're paying attention, to remember things and know.
You got to learn her, man. You got to learn her in a lot of different ways. Learn what she like, learn what she don't like, because it's going to be those triggers that if you do get married, it's going to be those triggers that you know that you can hold back on. You know what I'm saying? You know what triggers to push in a relationship. Well, don't push those triggers.
Mm-hmm.
What
I
happened?
just gave you the spotlight, baby. It's you.
Oh, I don't see anything.
Oh, you know, we just see you now. Okay, my
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, I mean, in a relationship, you know what triggers to push. I mean, you learn each other. The more you learn each other, the more you know. Oh, that pissed her off. I can't do that again.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or learn how to communicate more effectively to get a point across. So, and you're not going to do that without courting. Courting is communication. Courting is going out to places that both of you like. Courting is doing new things. I mean, how do you know a person? How that person is going to react to certain things?
Exactly, and that's it. Triumph, you got anything on courting? We're gonna kind of wrap up, guys.
Courting, people throw the word courting around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
However, that also requires you abstaining from penetration. I courted with my wife that I was with for 6 years, for 4 years before we married.
That's what I did. That's right.
That is not only a dinner date or something like that. It's literally spiritual, mental, physical, emotional deep dive into each other for a time period in which that involves whatever pastor, whatever family members, whatever friends that are supposed to also hold you accountable to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Courting is something that is not easy, but it does pay off in developing a relationship with the person to really be able to find out if you can be with them on a long-term basis. Okay, meaning past sex. Okay, that's the fact. So courting, I believe, is extremely important if you desire to marry the person. Now, you can date before you court. Dating, I do not believe, is the same thing. Dating, it's literally not the same level. Like, it's just not the same level. Courting, you are literally
Has a
completely
purpose of
mutually
marriage behind it,
exclusive.
almost. Right. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's different because like you can date with marriage in mind, but it's still not courting. Y'all still might be doing certain things. You still ain't involved your spirituality. You still ain't talking about, the things that are involve how you're gonna develop your kids with your spirituality and things. All that. It's the deep dive of what it would really be like. At like literally taking out all of the fun stuff. Can
That's
we
right.
exist with each other beyond the fun?
That's right. That's right.
Beyond us, it just the whatever the honeymoon stage and all the other stuff. That's
right.
what courting is. People like to say they want to court, but they don't want to take away the other stuff that comes along with dating.
That's right.
Because that's the thing. You really get to find out if you really like this person, not just from just talking, but do I really like this person if we're not having sex? Do I really like this person if we having problems? Do I really like this person if they believe in something else randomly and I'm married to them? Like, how devoted are you to that person? That's courting. It has to involve God.
That's right.
And I mean, this is the thing. This is my breakdown using the Holy Trinity, God, the Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody involved, Jesus Christ. Like, that's courting according to the kingdom of God.
Amen.
That's completely different in a lot of different people's minds, which is okay and great. But as far as when I hear courting, it switches to a whole nother situation, a whole nother level of standard. So I believe courting is extremely important if you actually care about the person, because you have to sacrifice so much to really devote yourself for a time period to find out if this is really where you want to be.
I guess
so. That's courting to me, and my answer is I believe it's very important.
It's very important
if you want to get married.
Exactly.
Past your dating stage. That's my answer.
No, and that's good stuff.
I've always looked at courting and dating to be the same. So that's a very interesting perspective.
Well, yes, it's the wording, but I do. Courting is definitely more deeper. When we were younger, or when it was way back in the day, and people were speaking of courting, that was planning for marriage, planning to be with that person long term. So that's true. Good points, Triumph. I appreciate that. 5 love languages. How familiar? 5 love languages. This came through, and guys, I would definitely encourage anybody married in couples, just anybody want to know themselves, to get the book 5 love languages. You have no idea a lot of times who you actually married to and know their love language. And even do you know your love language? 5 love languages is one of the best books I've ever read. And a lot of people go through it when they go through counseling from therapy or marriage, things like that. But you really need to pick that book up. It's an excellent read. It's not even a big read at all. It's a small read, but very good. And it teaches you about like the different love languages. I know quality time.
I think I got a little bit of all of them in me. I want a little bit of all 5 of them.
Is that it?
I want you to talk to me a certain way. I like the way you touch me, and it really don't matter where you touch me, just how you touch me.
Right.
How you talk to me. I think I got all 5 of them. I want them all.
I love it. That's right. So let me ask you this, brothers, what's important to you from your lady? What's important to you? What makes you really love a woman? What makes you stay with that woman? What makes you what differentiates women one from the other? With the way things are happening with a lot of people in and out of relationships these days, how can women reach us? What's important to you? What are you looking for from your next woman? Or what's important to you in having one?
Well, I mean, my thing has always been companionship. And from a woman, it may go back to those 5 love languages. I mean, the way she talks to me, and I guess that's the way I receive it, the way she touched me, the way, I like the submissiveness in a woman. Mm-hmm. I like everything about a woman, and her beauty is inside and outside. I mean, I've dated women it was strictly an inside beauty thing, so it's not all physical for me, but when you do initially look, you are looking physically until you get to know that person. So I like the inside beauty of a woman. So I like all 5. I like acts of service,
That's the one I always forget. I cannot name all.
Oh yeah. I like acts of service. Yeah,
that's right.
And I might be a little old school, but I like it when a woman fix my plate. It's not that I can't fix my plate, but I like it when she fixed my plate. I like it when I like it when she cooking in the kitchen, and if she gets sassy with it, she'll cooking something sexy. You know what I mean? That does something.
Cooking grits bucket naked.
It ain't got to be butt naked. I don't want no grits. I don't want no hot grits. I don't want no hot grits touching the wrong place.
Right,
you know what I mean?
No problem.
But yeah, so I mean, not even that, cleaning. You know what I'm saying? Pushing the vacuum cleaner and them boy shorts. I don't know. I'm just saying.
Gotcha.
All that stuff, just watching her do what she do in the way that she do it is a turn on. It's things that I like. It's things that I wouldn't mind having in my life, for the rest of my life.
Hey, these real words from real men. Brother T, talk to us, man. Tell me, what it is that you look for in a woman. Just talk to us. What's going on with you?
Well, I will say this. I don't believe in the 5 love languages. Okay? I'm going to start there. The day that you can describe God in 5 words, I believe in the 5 languages. For me, hold on 1 second. Right. So for me, I define love by God. So I can't put God in 5 boxes. I can't. So
Is that what
when
that's
it comes
doing?
to, that's the thing. For me, I think that God is love. That's just me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Nobody else has to believe what I believe, but
That's true.
I don't believe God fits in 5 boxes. So for me, when it comes to love and unconditioned, in order for it to be unconditioned, I can't put conditions on it. So I can't have 5 ways of doing it that cater to what you like. That's the opposite of love in my eyes. Because at the end of the day, marriage has nothing to do with what you like, which what a lot of people don't understand, which is the reason why they can't really continue to sacrifice, because they want them to do what they like and what they want. But it's about what you're willing to do to please the person, and how well are you to devote to that. And that's my opinion. You don't, nobody has to agree with that, but that's my opinion when it comes to love. Love is action, and how well you can continue to do that is unconditional. Now, that has nothing to do with what you like. It's all to do with your commitment to the person. So, with that being said, what I like in a woman is the same thing I like in myself, growth. If I can grow with her, then I will like her. As soon as I feel like I can't grow with her, then I'm not going to like the situation. That's the way I define the two. That person from this person. If I see a cap or a capacity in which that she can't handle, that's where I will have to separate myself, because if I'm gonna love her, I can't put her in a position that she can't handle. It's just that simple. Okay. So in order for me to find what's best for me, I have to I gotta still let her be who she is and what she wants to do. So that's how I look at it.
Go ahead, Al. Good stuff, T. What you got, Al? I thought you were saying something else.
No, I'm good. I mean, I agree with that. I mean, God is love. And if you look at love unconditionally, it may be more than 5 languages. But speaking of that book, definitely, you know, I
It's a
want
right-on book to me.
all 5 of them, dog.
I get it.
I mean, all 5 of them get me right.
I get it. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. But that's all good. And that's the good thing about having different opinions, because we're all different. And that's what women have to understand, is that no woman is the same, no man is the same. And that's why you can't date Leroy and come date Sean. I'm not Leroy. You know what I mean? You can't bring that same energy that you had and fell with before with somebody else to me. One, we need to also find out why, what happened, what made us fail if we did. Hey, what's up, America? Thank you for checking out the show. If you like the content and the vibe, come join us. Click on the link below.